and Nate enters the data.
So we have lots of nets, they all have numbers, so we're hanging them, bring them back, and hang them onto the numbers, the nets they come from. So we go around the nets on the hour, it's what we call net round.
Do you catch them all day long?
Oh my God.
Oh, look at that.
So we
I
have
was
to,
wondering what was going to
yes,
happen.
Wow.
first thing I do is check both legs. Some ringers ring on the left foot, so it catch you out sometimes. So you have to ID the bird if it's a new bird. So this is a eastern olivaceous warbler or Aduna pallida. So we can take pictures later. So ID the bird, then all the birds take different size rings, depends on the size of the leg. So, and then you have to translate to Latin, which is I do pow, just the short form Aduna pallida. So I do pow. So it takes it's different ring sizes, either RB or JC. So I'm going to go for JC. So these are different ring size. So this is JC. So I'll double check the ring number. So it should follow from the last one, which is 870, which should be a 12. Let's double check. Yes, it's 12. This is the ring lock. So these are very light aluminium rings. It doesn't hurt the birds. It goes onto their leg like a bracelet. So because these are soft, much softer than the ones we use in the UK, I'll just put the first squeeze on my fingers. And then we'll put the second squeeze with these special ringing pliers. So we've got the small ones, small rings, and the big one for like ducks and things. So it's got, in the UK we call this A, B, C, D, E hold. So this one will go into the smallest one. So I put the joint on the 90 degrees to this opening. Make sure the ring doesn't overlap. If it overlaps, it can be a problem. So just a little squeeze. And so I have to check it still rotates around the leg and doesn't go over the toes, which is not going to be good. Or it goes over this ankle. This is the ankle of the bird. This is the foot, and these are the toes. So that's fine. It's not going to go anywhere. Freely rotates. So this got a unique number. So this ring will stay on the bird for the rest of his life. So if another ringer catches it, say in Israel or somewhere Russia, they'll read the ring number, says Turkey, it's got written Turkey on it, they'll report back to the government. Government will tell the station, and then it's what we call control bird. But because the next ringing station is Israel or up in Russia, it's very rarely do we get control, but you might get one from Kenya, so it's the next ringing station there.
So very quickly, we've had about 36 or so controls from over 20 countries over the years. So 1 in 5,000 bird roughly. Is really, so it's like putting a message in a bottle. And to put things in context, it's actually a very good number for songbirds. Often
Little birds.
often the ratios are under 1 in 100,000. I had a station in Costa Rica as part of my PhD. We banded 57,000 birds over 12 years, which was the biggest tropical bird resident bird ringing project, and we had one control. Well, okay, of those, 30% were migrants, so the residents are not going to be caught elsewhere, but you know, out of 20,000 migrants, we had one control in like South
So
Carolina.
when you get a control, it's like, yes.
Yes.
Because I mean, these birds are probably only living a couple of years, aren't they?
Exactly,
Yeah, a
there
few
is
years. So we've had some Aduna pallida from ring from previous spring, and it's come back. Those are the ones that come back first, we find, because they know the way. And then the others, we don't know how they find the way back, but they do. So yeah.
Do you have some birds which are just strictly local and so
Yes.
are not worth banding?
Some
Do
are
you,
just,
do you only band
residents.
the ones that are
Everything we
migrating?
so watch that bird. So everything we bring back should be ringed, because otherwise you're just wasting the time. In the UK, we find sometimes accidentally, like unfortunately, there will be some dead birds, the casualties. We don't ring those because we have to pay for our own rings, and each little ring is about 25p. I don't know where you come from. 25p. So it all adds up when we have to
I
pay
don't
for
know,
our
you have to
rings.
pay for your rings.
Yeah.
Jesus, that
Then
would go
Charlie
bankrupt.
says he rings everything, even dead birds, but we don't.
Dead bird, yeah, that's silly.
Yeah.
Um,
So
But
and so this one,
in
this
Turkey,
warbler is a migratory, so
they'll overwinter in Africa,
Uh-huh.
sub-Saharan Africa.
Okay.
It's a long way for a little bird.
Yeah.
Generally, they follow the coast, so they go to Gambia and then just beyond Sahara Desert. So I'm holding in what we call the ringer's grip. So you've got a natural gap in between the fingers, so it doesn't strangle the bird. So I just keep these fingers together and it won't go anywhere. Bigger birds are generally have to support it behind the knees as well. So now I have to do all these other measurements. So now I have to age the bird. So these birds will do a complete molt after they bred. So they'll come here to breed, and then they'll do a complete molt, which changes all the primaries. So these are the primaries. So generally, these little birds will have 10 primary feathers, 6 secondaries, and 3 tertiaries, and then 12 tail feathers. So they'll do a complete molt, including the body feathers, because after breeding in and out of the nest, they get really abraded. So they need a new set of feathers, and then go to Africa. Some birds would do molt in Africa. So it depends on the breed. That's why it takes a long time to be ringer, because different breeds will do different things. So because both young and adults do a complete molt in Africa, so this is a 4. So we have different codes for the ages. So 4 is born before this year, but it could be any year before that, we don't know. If it's definitely a young bird born from last year, then it's a 5. So this time of the year is generally age code 4, age code 5. So this is the age code 4. So now I'll measure the wing. This is a special ring ruler with a butt to the end. So we gently tug it underneath the wing. And then we just have to gently just straighten it out without hurting the bird. Just get the maximum chord, 68. So these are all millimeters. So now I have to tell Nate the longest primaries. So this is, P1 is very short, so this is P2, primary 2. And then the tip is 3, 5. So P3, 4, 5 are the longest. And then I'm going to tell him the next one up. So I measure with my calipers. 2, 3. So this one is shorter, is on the other side. So 0, 3, 4. Close it, yes. 7 and 9. So we'll give 5 feathers. So this is 3, 4, 5. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Better more than this. So now I measure the tail. So I just gently fold it up. Birds naturally do this, so it doesn't hurt them. This is a special tail root, so I'll just tuck it in. So it's 56 tail. And then I'll look at the fat. So we have fat scores here. So generally, like 0 is like they'll be dead. So generally, local resident birds 1 or 2. If they're like migrating, there'll be 5, and then that will be like love and lard. So yeah. So let's have a look at the fat. So we'll look at its side. No gentle blow. And this is fat tube. In the UK, we'll sex the bird if it's in breeding. So sometimes for a bird, you see what we call a CP, cloacal protrusion, which is void. The females sometimes develop a brood pouch, so they lose feathers around the belly so they can breed the eggs. But sometimes you get some breeds that the male is breed, so you have to learn these things. So now we'll turn on. So we have to weigh the bird. So make sure there's tear, and then we'll just gently slide it into this little top. And then we'll weigh it. 9.4.
And it just kind of goes into hibernation almost when it's upside
It's
down.
dark, so they stay calm. So we generally find a dark water, just like a transparent kind of washes. So birds will tell you if they're stressed, they'll poo everywhere, because that's how they escape from the predators. They unload, becomes lighter, or these blackbirds will shed a lot of feathers. So if you're processing a lot of blackbirds, the whole ringer station will just be full of feathers. But it's just a natural thing they do, just under stress, because they'll distract the predators. They'll go after the feathers rather than the bird can escape. Yeah, so generally, okay, we'll take a little feather sample as well because they're doing isotope testing. But normally,
Amy in our lab, Amy, another PhD student, yeah, she's testing basically pulverize these feathers and then run them through a mass spectrometer, do isotope analysis, and that will tell us basically what trophic level the bird belongs to, like what they're feeding on. But yeah, that's one of her chapters.
so normally we'll just let it go.
Yeah.
So Nat will tell me he's got all the biometrics good to go, then I'll know to let it go. If I'm missing something, he'll tell me, or if something not quite right, then he'll tell me. So generally, the scribe's job should be the most experienced ringer in the UK. Then if the biometric something is not quite right, they'll tell us. Yeah, but yeah, it is what it is. So we can take it out in a minute and take some pictures. Just put it back in the bag. We haven't got too many birds, so it should be okay. Generally, we try to process it as quickly as we can and then let them go because they have to feed.